3.
So the gospel this week is 50-plus-year-old men shouldn't wrestle in 100-plus degrees. Hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Big Push. This week, we're going to do a quick recap of the week because we had a pretty big week. Had TakeOver 25, we had Super Showdown, and the Raw and SmackDown in between, and the NXT in between. Of course, the shows before the pay-per-views. Oh, let's get this going. So the shows usually before the pay-per-views, they're just to refresh everyone, I guess, on the matches that they're going to be seeing. In this case, Friday for Super Showdown. But I'm going to go over Raw first. It wasn't that big a Raw. Of course, it's 3 hours, so they're going to be able to fit a lot of shit in those 3 hours. But of course, that's the first one. So we start off with Roman Reigns. And the build up to their match at Super Showdown, I guess, is cool. It's a little bit of overkill with with Shane and Drew coming up on Roman Reigns every chance they get. And this was another time with Drew McIntyre and the Revival, the top guys, picking up the W over the Bloodline. One thing I do want to note is I was reading, I can't pull the article right now off the top of my head, but I was reading somewhere the Revival, they were unhappy with their position in WWE. They labeled themselves as top guys, but for a while they weren't aligned even with top guys. But they're with Shane and Drew. We'll see where this goes. Maybe Drew gets a Universal title shot down the line, which he should. We'll see. The opening promos are getting kind of old in WWE. I'll say that right off the bat. But we'll see what the match was like on Sunday. We'll see what the match was like on Friday at Super Showdown. So the next segment was Miz TV. And Miz, of course, had Seth Rollins as his guest. And he asked Seth how he was feeling with the Beast looming basically everywhere he goes. And attempting to cash in, but not cashing in. Not really sure what he wants to do. I kind of like this from Brock. It's better to have him on every week and not wrestling every week than to just have him wrestling once every 3 months. Granted, maybe we have him on TV every week because he's not the champion. So maybe we keep the title off him for a bit just to keep him around. I don't know. And after that, we had the Lars Sullivan and Lucha House Party segment. I personally am not interested in Lars Sullivan or Lucha House Party. Lars hasn't captivated me, even in NXT. He didn't captivate me. I don't know what their plan is for him. If they're advertising him as a monster, I'm not buying it. Lucha House Party, those are some talented guys right there. Those 3 dudes are talented. WWE has got to find something to do with them. because they got too much talent to just be coming out here for 5 minutes and getting dropped on their heads by this dude. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch says something was awakened in her when Lacey Evans cost her championship. And, I mean, Becky, you don't really got much to complain about. You got another championship. Belt's a belt, fam. Don't get greedy. And you might lose the one you got. Then what? From one belt to no belt, Rey Mysterio had to relinquish his U.S. title. He had to relinquish his U.S. title to Samoa Joe. I repeated that on purpose so you get it. I've never heard of a title being relinquished to someone. If that's the case, why in the past have we had so many vacant titles when people go away for injury? And then we have all these matches, you got fatal four-ways, triple threats to determine number one contenders and who's going to fight at what pay-per-view for what title that's vacant at the time. But to relinquish it to someone, and then to Samoa Joe, which I don't know if it's because of him or what's going on behind the scenes, but I kind of forgot about the U.S. title when it was on Samoa Joe. Which is why last week I brought up, should we even get rid of it and replace it with something else, because it's losing its prestige and it's becoming a title that no one really cares about, because I'm starting to not care about it. And I think everyone else is too. Which is why 4th of July, special U.S. title episode. Got it for y'all. Because that's the good stuff. It is a historic title. And we gotta show appreciation. And we ain't forgot about it. At least I haven't. Next. Lashley and Strowman in an arm wrestling match. Now this, I think, was stupid, but it's worth noting. This time around in WWE, they're letting Bobby Lashley have a personality. I think his big thing that was wrong with him, his first go around in WWE, he was just a musclehead. He didn't speak. He had no one to speak for him. We don't know where Leo Rush is now, so he still has no one to speak for him. But he's getting a personality. It might not be the best personality, but he's trying and he's getting there. And hopefully, he keeps growing to the point where he gets a title, because he's pulling out all the stops recently and he's putting on some good matches. We'll see if they give him the opportunity to put on a great match and if he's capable of doing that. He has some good matches in TNA, which is why he was always in the main event picture down there. So we'll see what WWE does with Lashley. But he ended up losing the arm wrestling contest. But Lashley, we'll see. And then on to Nikki Cross and Peyton Royce. I'm not getting the Nikki Cross thing. I don't know where she came from. They brought her up from NXT, kind of had her sitting, and now she's in a weird space, I feel. I get the Triple H's frustration with how his prospects are being used once they get to the main roster, because watching TakeOver 25 and watching Super Showdown, I mean, it's easy to say what the better show was. Super Showdown was long as shit, but for what? I won't even talk about Super Showdown right now. We'll get into that later. We're gonna finish up on Raw though, because we gotta cover SmackDown too. And that leads me to Brock again, faking another cash in. But this time he just beat the crap out of Seth Rollins. Like, he hit him with that chair probably about 20 times. If not 20, it looked like 20. Probably felt like 40. But I like how they having Brock keep the crowd guessing, like I said earlier. And we're getting to see more Brock. He's not wrestling. He's coming out with his beast box. Yeah. But yeah, he faked the cash and beat the hell out of Seth Rollins, man, and I felt for Rollins. Them chair shots sounded nasty. Not for the children at home. So much for PG. That's what I'm saying. TV 14's the way to go. Get some headshots in there. I'll leave it at that. Randy Orton and Triple H face to face. Two alphas going at it. That's all that is. It's gonna be a great match. The match I'm looking forward to most at Super Showdown, because like I said last week, these two been going at it since I was yay high. Can't even see it. That's right. Since I was yay high. And I mean, those are my guys, you know, so that's my match I'm looking forward to. Cesaro and Ricochet this week. Not as eventful as last week. One, that roll-up finish. I didn't like that. And then the 24/7 championship, like, interrupting the end of the match. This 24/7 championship thing they're doing with R-Truth, I think they should let it be its own storyline. I don't think they should have him running in and interrupting other people, what they're doing in the ring. Because Cesaro and Ricochet, what they're doing in the ring is, I'm seeing a story here. These are two dudes trying to make a name for themselves, but they both realize that they're talented as hell. Kind of at the same spot, although Cesaro should be higher, and Ricochet's just getting there, and he's already about to pass Cesaro. So they're going to tell a story with this rivalry, I think. And like they said, hopefully this is another one that I get to see for freaking another 13 years. And when that time comes around, hopefully there's another one for another 13 years until I can't see no more. You know, but I like how they work together in the ring. Up until the end, it was a damn good match. It was just a disappointing ending. Then we had The Undertaker return next. And he would close out the show. Now, I've been adamant in saying that Undertaker should not wrestle anymore. I mean, every year he looks older. Don't get me wrong, he can still go. But they got to put him in there with some older guys if they want him to look as good as they advertise. Putting him in there with Goldberg is not what I thought I would get when saying that statement, but I took it. And when I get to Super Showdown, I'll tell you what I thought of it. So here we are on SmackDown. We open up the show with Dolph Ziggler. He's in the match. And overall, his promise is to win at Super Showdown, because it should have been him. He should be WWE champ. I think Dolph should go to AEW, simply because he would fit in over there. They have like a lot of people who, I don't want to say have big personalities in the ring, but he would fit the climate. I can't really explain it too well, but I know most of you will understand what I'm saying. He would fit that climate. And although WWE is not releasing guys right now because of that, and they'll all jump ship is gonna sink, by the way, but okay, Vince, cover your ass. Dolph should go to AEW. But back on track. So he promises to win the title at Super Showdown. And then old boy Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come in. And they got a match with the New Day. New Day ends up winning the match. And we'll see what happens at Super Showdown. Kofi and Dolph for the strap, the big one, and we'll see what happens. But they followed that up with a Moment of Bliss, and on that it was revealed that Charlotte, Carmella, and Alexa later on in the night would face off for the #1 contender spot. And after that, we hop back into the 24/7 championship storyline. Here we have a lumberjack match. Now, here we have the 24/7 title being defended in a regular match. Not a regular match, but in the ring is what I meant to say. And R-Truth versus Elias. Elias hits him with a high knee. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. Right after the match, all the lumberjacks storm the ring, and in the midst of the chaos, Elias escapes. He tries to go under the ring, but he bumps into Truth. Truth follows him under the ring. Video was later released by WWE. Truth crawled under the ring, bashed Elias' head on the chair underneath the ring, covered him 1, 2, 3. Ref counted it. Truth got the title back. What's Truth, like a four-time champ now? I think. Man, Truth doing his thing, man. I'm proud of Truth, man. And here's the overkill. Next segment, Shane calls out Roman. He's got the revival in. You know Roman deals with the revival. Gets him out of there. A couple Superman punches, dropping folks. And then Claymore kick. Drew McIntyre out of the cut. God damn it. Drew McIntyre. Okay. So after the Claymore kick, he proceeds to lift up Roman so Shane can spear him, and that's the send-off going into Friday. Shane looks strong going into Friday. But of course he's got McIntyre by his side, so hey fam, in case y'all wondering, we just passing the ball back and forth. Got my lady here watching the camera, making sure it stay on. Now you can put it up. Making sure it stay on. So I'm trying to give y'all this good stuff right here. Cause next we have the triple threat match for the #1 contender spot for the Women's Championship. Flair, Carmella, and Bliss. But Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville make their way down to the ring. And why can't the women's storylines just happen? Well, after this storyline, I want to see. I just want to see if WWE can give me a women's storyline without Charlotte. Like, she's been in, I feel like, in recent memory, every women's championship storyline since she came from NXT. I don't like repetition. They took Sasha out. Bayley's finally in it. She finally won. Like, geez, can we shake it up a bit? Even with Superstar Shake-Up, that's pointless because you got the same people winning championships. What's the fucking point? At least in NXT, you guys freaking change championships like people flip pages, but it's exciting and the matches are good and they're fresh. They keep the matches stay fresh. God. But on the main roster, we get the same matches. John Cena had to start making movies just so he can stop facing Randy Orton every fucking year. Jeez. They faced off like probably 15 times. Maybe more. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. What I do know is Mandy and Sonya distracted Carmella. So even when Carmella did hit the super kick on Charlotte, she couldn't capitalize because Sonya interrupted her. Alexa comes in, hits the DDT. Is that her finisher now, by the way? I thought it was that flip from the top rope, but I guess it's DDT. That's cool. And then she won the match. So it's Bliss versus Bayley at WWE Stomping Ground. Another thing. Stop switching the names of these pay-per-views. A pay-per-view name is just a pay-per-view name. What makes the pay-per-view is the matches on the pay-per-view. If you suck at booking matches, if you don't think, hey, maybe we can't put together a pay-per-view this month, don't put together a pay-per-view. You don't have to do it. You can just have events that you put on the network. You don't have to make it a pay-per-view event, though. I hope it's good, but we're getting McIntyre versus Roman. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. And Bliss versus Bayley for the Women's Championship. I kind of don't want to see that either, because how Alexa even came into the championship picture is like she kind of backed her way into it, and I don't know. She's better than that. You can book her better than that. And speaking of booking better, next we have Lars Sullivan. And if I wasn't captivated before, I certainly am not now. Why'd you have to have him open his mouth? I think he was doing just fine, just going out and dropping people on their necks. Like, should have kept it at that. And he's not terrible on the mic, it's just, it didn't do anything for me. It didn't add anything that I felt was missing. What I feel is missing is, you gotta legitimize him. Like, you gotta put him in a rivalry with another monster or a destructive figure. And don't throw him against like a Braun Strowman and have him beat Braun Strowman, because you can't really go too much higher up than that, besides the Universal Championship, which Lars probably isn't going to get. So, figure it out, because Lars, his character's crying for help, and I smell a reboot coming real soon, because I don't know, like even the audience, I feel like the audience wasn't even invested while he's speaking, even when he comes out. The only thing that was intriguing about him was the little video clips of him before he actually came to the main roster. That's about it. So, but I shouldn't count him out yet. He's still finding his feet, but pitter patter. Next, after Lars, we have Apollo and Andrade. They're gonna have a match, but Andrade, he attacks Apollo on the way down to the match. Finn tries to come in for the save, but he hits the double stomp. But Andrade eventually hits him with the hammerlock DDT, and that's the end of that. That's gonna be a good match at Super Showdown for the IC title. I don't see Andrade winning. I think Finn, because he's facing the Demon, and when Finn goes into that, he gets serious. He gets serious in there when Finn turns into the Demon. And Andrade's not ready for that, so we're going to see, but I got Finn winning that one. And last but not least, Goldberg calling out The Undertaker. And like I said, we'll see about this one. I didn't think this was the match I'd get when I told myself Taker needs to wrestle older guys to make him look as good as advertised. Because having young guys slow down to keep up with him, or having him try to speed up to keep up with them, is a disaster. But little did we know, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Super Showdown. Here we are. First match, Rollins Corbin. Rollins gets the W. And after the match, Corbin hits him with the end of days. And moments later, who comes down? Brock. But on the way into the ring, Paul Heyman trips and Brock kind of gets distracted. And while he has the chair in his hand, Seth Rollins kicks him in the groin, drops the chair, and Seth just gets a beating on him with the chair. The match, Rollins Corbin didn't care for. It was that segment is what was important. Brock failed to cash in on Seth. Seth got a little bit of revenge. Now the next match, Balor vs. Andrade, that was the first wow, this might be a damn good show. Because that match, like I have right here, it was a great back and forth. Like poetry in motion, these two. Balor retained, so we'll see what's next. We'll see if we get an Aleister Black Andrade feud, but what's next for Finn is the big question. And we'll see. We'll see come Tuesday. Next, Shane versus Roman. And this match, I thought it was gonna be exciting. I thought we were gonna see something crazy from Shane McMahon, like him jumping onto the announcing table and completely missing. Then Roman Reigns wiping out everyone, and then spearing Shane 3 times in the ring, 1, 2, 3. But no, that's not at all what happened. And it came simply down to Shane reversing a move, and who went into the ref? Shane went into the ref. And stupid. McIntyre comes in, hits the Claymore kick, and then the match is over. It's like you built up the match so much, and then to lay an egg like that, following the match that came before it, man, you dropped the ball on that. And then the Lucha House Party. I'm going to read to you the first thing I wrote in reference to that match. Match was boring. All caps. The match was boring. The best part of the match was after the match. When they tried to fight off Lars and they all were hitting top rope maneuvers, and then Lars gets back up and still destroys them. I mean, oh man. What's the point of building up the match? Then you don't have the match, and then Lars. I mean, I don't know, man. But what followed up after that was damn good, and it was the Triple H Randy Orton match, the match that I wanted to see. And it didn't disappoint. Did not disappoint at all. Triple H tried to hit that punt kick, tried to steal Orton's move, and Orton hit that RKO. And that was it. And it was a damn good match. And like I said, it didn't disappoint. 13 years in the making. Good storytelling in the match. Triple H is becoming very good at that. He's always been good at that, but as of late, as he's gotten older, he's gotten wiser. He's been through a lot, and he's showing all of that in the matches he does have every once in a while. And it's great to see. and he's implementing that knowledge on the kids that come into not kids, but the guys and girls that come into NXT. I mean, look at the matches they have. It speaks for itself. The dudes. Vince has got to give Hunter the keys to the main roster. Even if he puts himself in matches. Because either way, it's damn good television. The ratings are screaming for it, so let's make it happen. Next we had Strowman versus Lashley, and they had Lashley looking very strong to start the match. He was kind of manhandling Strowman a bit, and we usually don't see Strowman certainly get taken off his feet that much. And Bobby was throwing his weight around a bit. I wanted to see Bobby win on the simple fact that after Braun has big wins, WWE doesn't know what to do. It's kind of just like, where does he go from here? He's a very talented big guy. He deserves a big championship. WWE just got to figure out how they're gonna go about it. And just for that, like, I know there's nothing after it, but a guy who can go up still, because who's still being built in WWE since he's came back, is Bobby Lashley. So I wish he would have won, because there was more room to go up. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. We'll see where Strowman goes. Hopefully he gets that US title. Maybe he could make the US title relevant again. No, but hopefully he gets the that Universal title match, and hopefully he gets that Universal title match that he deserves. Next we had Kofi and Dolph, and this was a damn good match. I really enjoyed it. Good story being told here. Over the years, they showed us on TV, and they posted a video on YouTube too, of their rivalry over the years. They fought for every championship in WWE. So, I think with the exception of it's every championship. So that just goes to show you. But so towards the end, Ziggler hit Woods with a super kick, and in return, Woods would get on the ropes, hit Ziggler with a kick. Kofi would capitalize on that, hit him with a Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3. The match is over. After that, Dolph complaining as always. Now he wants Kofi in a cage match at Stomping Ground. So that's another match we're going to get. That one's going to be good. That one should be the main event. That one should be the main event of that pay-per-view. Okay. Next, the 50-man Battle Royal. Mansoor, the hometown kid from Saudi Arabia, was the winner of that. And it was good to see him win, because as soon as he won, it panned to the crowd, and right in the crowd was this lady, and as soon as the bell rang, she celebrated, and then she just started crying. And then they would pan to other people. There were kids in the crowd crying. It was a dope moment. And then him and Ali took the picture after. That was cool. Even if hopefully WWE does something with the kid after, but the ending was a good moment, and to just have him outlast everyone, it was crazy, but it was good. It was a good moment. I'm glad he won. If it wasn't him, I wanted it to be Xavier Woods, and it wasn't Xavier Woods, so I can accept Mansoor as the winner of the 50-man Battle Royal. Ooh, and the main event. Oh boy. Undertaker versus Goldberg. Now let me just say, for about the 4th or 5th time in this video, that this is not the match I thought I'd get when I told myself Undertaker would need to wrestle older guys to look as good as advertised. And I'm glad that I didn't want it, because it made it easier to accept the failure that it was. So first you have Goldberg opening up the match with 2 spears to Undertaker. Alright, cool. He kicks out of both. Now we're in trouble, because now we're going beyond about 30 seconds. Goldberg's standard match. And red flags are going up in my head, like this shit is gonna get bad. What happens? Undertaker brings Goldberg to the turnbuckle. Bam! Goldberg's leaking. After the show, he tweeted out he knocked himself out. That was clear, because when he took Undertaker up for the brainbuster, he almost killed him. He almost dropped Taker on his fucking neck in the ring in front of how many thousand people. Not to mention, it didn't help that it was like 110 degrees at ring level. So let's throw that out there. And then, so Goldberg almost kills Undertaker for the first time. And then Undertaker goes to bring him up for the Tombstone Piledriver. And what's up with Goldberg? He's limp as fuck. I don't know what's happening in the ring right now, but he goes up for the Tombstone, and Undertaker comes down and almost kills Goldberg. Like his, picture his bam, sideways, his neck was just hit the mat. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? So I'm wondering, this match has got to be over soon. Someone's got to come from the back and stop it. Someone's got to interfere. Can we get Kane or something? Sting maybe? No. So what happened? So I guess Undertaker's got a mean look on his face after that brainbuster, because now he's like, this dude's can't even compete with me. He almost just killed me. I almost just killed him. I don't know, man. I have no words for this, because this match was terrible. The build was good. The match was atrocious. I'm going to leave it alone for now, but I'm going to come back to it in a future video, because I don't know what can get worse than that. But I know what can get better. I know it can get a lot better. After that show, I went back and watched TakeOver 25, because I didn't watch it initially on the first when it aired. And the Matt Riddle and Roderick Strong match, to start off with a strong match. Man, woo! That was a good match all the way through. I think next to this match, I have great match in all caps. That sums it up right there. What makes a good match to you? Think of it. Now, input Matt Riddle and Roderick Strong. And that was that match. There it is. And next we had the Fatal 4 tag team match for the NXT tag titles. Street Profits, Forgotten Sons, Larkin and Birch. Shout out Oni Larkin, by the way. Boston, Massachusetts. And the Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era got their print all over NXT. Shout out to them. They came in here and just did it. Can't wait till they go to the main room. Well, I'll hold my tongue on that, because we see what happens. So this was a good match. it ended up with the Street Profits winning their first NXT tag titles, and it was cool. It was cool to see the celebration after. The crowd loves them. They love the crowd. You can see the love for the business too in them, and how they perform in the ring too. They're very charismatic, even when they getting dropped on ladders and getting their ass kicked in the ring. Montez Ford, he's a funny guy. He can sell the hell out of some moves too, but and that jump from the turnbuckle onto the ladder, damn, how far was that? And just off vert alone, no running start. Shout out to him. But that was a good match. It was a good win. Shout out to the Street Profits winning the tag titles. Great match next to that one too. What is a great Fatal 4 tag team match for the NXT titles? Envision it. That's it. Next we had the Velveteen Dream and Tyler Breeze. I don't like the Velveteen Dream simply because his gimmick is based on Prince, and it is whack. Whack. I don't like his gimmick at all. But, however, his match was versus Tyler Breeze, and it was a good match. Again, a great match. Another damn good story being told between these two. And they took a selfie at the end of the match, which I thought was stupid. I was hoping Tyler Breeze would like attack him or something, show some grit, because you just came back to NXT, you used to be a staple, and then you just got handed to you by fake Prince. And great match. Velveteen Dream, not feeling the gimmick, but he's a damn good wrestler, and his finishing move, I forget the name of it, but his finishing move is damn good too. And after that match, NXT TakeOver just kept throwing, like, they were aiming for the damn sky, and they hit every time. Every time. Every time. So Io Shirai versus Shayna Baszler. Another great match. Shayna Baszler did end up winning. Io Shirai, she had a good outing, but the ending, or towards the ending, and then after the match were the key moments when then the kendo stick came back out and people got brutalized with that kendo stick. And then afterwards, Io Shirai hit the moonsaults on Shayna Baszler, 2 of them. Second one was with the chair, and Io Shirai said she's not done. So we'll see what happens on NXT going forward. But that was a great match too. So envision, what does a great match for the NXT Women's Championship look like in your mind? Envision it. Io Shirai and Shayna Baszler. Open your eyes, because that's what happened. There were great matches all down the card, and shout out to Triple H, man. And the guys on the card, the people backstage, everyone down at NXT killing it. Man, roster gotta step up. Well, can we get NXT televised or something? Help with the ratings, man. Like, need it. And last but not least, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT title. Adam Cole won the match. It was a damn good match. A story like no other being told. And I hope I get to see them face off again. And when I do, man, great match. That's all I have right here. Great match for the NXT title. TakeOver was a start to the week that WWE just couldn't keep up with. And Super Showdown, I don't know, we might be in a low period for WWE. Up until SummerSlam, when it starts picking up and we get on the road to WrestleMania, that's when shit gets exciting. But right now, we're just going through the motions, and NXT's gonna carry us right now. So, and NXT UK Cardiff, man, I can't wait for that because they're doing a ballsy thing going up against AEW. They're just showing it earlier. I think they're just showing their show earlier, and then when they end, AEW comes on. But them boys in the UK, them girls in the UK, they can go. They hard hitting, no nonsense, no crazy storylines, none of that crap. To the point, and I respect it wholeheartedly. So I want to see what they bring. And I know Triple H is telling them throw everything and the kitchen sink. And they're going to go ahead and try to bury AEW. We'll see. I'm looking forward to that. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to. Thank you for joining me this week. That like, leave a comment, share, get your friends involved in the discussion. And I'll be back at y'all after this week when we see Raw and SmackDown and see what they bring. I'll keep y'all in the loop. Jaye Maverick, The Big Push. Thank you.